Here's a grass cutter trimmer. It is made by Grunman. It has a 1000-watt motor. The device itself looks like that. The model is TE-1000-2Q. You should wear gloves and eye protection. That's the other side of the box. It has a QR code. So you have to power it through 220 volts, 230. The cord itself it's short, so it's not a gas powered one, neither a battery one, only with wall socket power. It has a cutting head with nylon, which is this one, that's string. So it has two methods of cutting, with the string and with that disc. The diameter of that string is 2 millimeters, 6 meter long. The speed, not under load, is 6000 rotations per minute. It's not brushless, it's a brushed motor, so it should have carbon brushes somewhere inside. The cutting diameter is 38 centimeters. With that head, it's referring to that one, and the disc is 230 millimeters, disc 230, and the string is 38. With the disc it's slightly faster, 6500 rotations per minute. The length of the cable is 35 centimeters, 5.5 kilograms. It has that strap, a handle. We are already full of bugs. They like this green color. The box is not too big. The device itself is bigger. It is folded in two parts, this one and that one. It looks like that on the inside. So those are the contents. Some dirt already entered. Here it's mentioning Japan. On the box it's mentioning made in China. Another cap. Screws. This is plastic. This portion is cutting the string, 96 decibels. This is also plastic. There we have some metal inside. Rotation direction, it's rotating to the left. User manual. The handle, it's plastic. The cutting head with the string. Maximum RPM 10,000. Assembled in wear. The blue string is inside, wind cord. We have a screwdriver, star at this end and hexagonal at those ends. That should be the cutting disc. Brush cutter blade 3T. Designed exclusively for brush cutter, do not use it for other applications. Mount the blade correctly on brush cutter. Check the blade before working, do not use blade with any flaws. Always mount blade guard when using the brush cutter. During working, always check that nobody or no obstacle is present within 15-meter radius. Don't cut anything around you. There's the 3-pointed metal cutting disc. Maximum 12,000 rotations per minute, I guess. 1.4 times 230 millimeters. 1.4 millimeter has to be the thickness. So that portion is cutting. The other side also has that. So both sides can cut. Hexagonal key. A smaller hexagonal. Screws and washers, hexagonal inside. Now let's take a look at the device itself. Ooh man, they like that green color. Casă electrică, that's in Romanian. Electric trimmer, made in China, 38 centimeters, 23 centimeters. That is the strap, around 2 fingers wide, adjustable. Casă electrică 1000 de watts, electric trimmer 1000 watts, 220 volt plug. It has a foam here. That shaft should rotate. It has a square inside, square connector. This is plastic, it can be loosened, and it has that opening. With the manual, there's the opening, so that goes there. Inside this it's a square This is metal, it's not aluminium. Push that in, rotate it a little bit, and it's in. Okay, so it looks like this. Now it's much longer. It is around 1.70 m, I guess. The button cannot be pressed until you press that safety mechanism. So first the small one, and then this is clicking. If you don't press that one, that does not enter. It's pretty heavy. The plastic is pretty thick. It's not squeaking. It looks solid. It sounds solid. So it's not a cheap toy. At least not this plastic part. The handle should be mounted first. I cannot insert this here. This is smaller compared to that one. Let's plug it in for the first time. This cable is very short. No, this is the wrong way to hold it. Now this is the correct way to hold it. Push the small button. It has a soft start function. Wow! It's pretty noisy. It's blowing the wind back here in the end. Something is coming out. Now this thing came out. It's elastic. It's square at the end. There it's square. So it should enter somewhere. At this end it's also square. To the right, notice, is circular. So I guess this is designed to take all the impact if something is stopping the device from rotating. Then this string is twisting more or less so that the motor will not stop instantly. So introduce that one. And the diameter of this string is around 2 millimeters. There's that inner shaft also. It's not really visible. So insert these, rotate a little bit if it's not entering, push in the button, and it entered. Now that's interesting because that much, 3-4 centimeters are holding them together. Very interesting. Okay, now tighten this. It still has some play. Now it's better. Now the manual says to mount the handle. The handle has to be mounted here on the upper shaft where the motor is, somewhere there. That's the handle. Now it's closed, so remove those two screws. We have nuts on the other side, and then this plastic portion should come off. That's too small, so you have to use a larger one. The nut came out, the screw does not come out. Now this has a center portion which stays out. It's raised, and here we can see this portion has a cut in it close to the motor. So interesting, it does not enter there. You have to push it and then a little bit enters, so the plastic is a little bit tight. Okay, so put that one there, the handle on the top towards the motor. Now put the nut into the opening and tighten it. Now introduce that one also and tighten it from the other side. So till here it looks like this. It was assembled in the center and the handle was mounted. Now we have to mount the protection, so those two plastic elements, this and that one, using those 3 screws. So one has to be attached onto the other. These are the screws. Screw, washer, and the nut is inside the plastic, all 3 of them. With this rounded portion down, put this one on the top. Washer on top, and screw in. It is already holding it. It entered a little bit on the other side. next washer and tighten it manually first. So the nut is inside the plastic. Thus we assembled the two plastic portions. Tighten them using the smaller key from the top. Don't overdo it because it's plastic, it might break. Okay, so it's holding firmly. Now we have to mount the plastic protection onto that head. So first use the screwdriver, this portion, and remove 3 screws, this, that and that. This is also moving. By the way, let's take a look what we have here. The plastic is also coming off. That's inside this one. If I rotate it with my hand, the other one is also rotating, so there must be a gear inside. Both of them, my hand and that inside portion, are rotating to the right, to the left and to the left. That's full of grease. The screw entered there so it will not fall out. Rotate this portion. Now it enters. So this screw enters into the black metal. So this is just blocking and the other one is tightening it. This can flex, hope it won't break. So finally remove those 3 screws. So we have 2, a smaller one and a larger one, plus the screw. The flat one is below. The small one is above. Remove the third one. It will not enter until we remove this also. Now this is rotating the entire motor, so we need to block. This has to be removed in the other direction, to the right. So it's a reverse thread. That was on top, this was below, this is under. Notice it has those cuts inside, plus this small opening for blocking it. You have to introduce this smaller one, yes, that enters, and it should enter here. So you can lock this so it will not spin related to this one. So when it's on, introduce it on the other side, and now this will not rotate. Those 3 were removed. Put the plastic on and more exactly towards you, because the user is that way, so that has to be protected. Now introduce those 3 screws, put both washers on it and into there. Small washer, larger washer, small, large. Till now it looks like this. This gray head is holding the large plastic. Then we have to mount those. That was joined together and that was attached. This blade is designed to cut the cord when you are cutting the grass. So it looks like this. That portion is sharp and that's exactly in the front. You can rotate this with your hand and it will rotate the motor to the left, to the right. To the left it's easier. I'm rotating the rotor of that motor, which is inside that green box. So the rotation from here is sent through a shaft inside this tube to that motor. When you are cutting grass, the rotation of that one is sent to this one. Now the manual says to mount either that one, the metal blade, or the wire. I will use the wire. Notice on the black plastic there is an opening, and there is an opening on the metal also. So that one, this is the larger key and you can introduce it there. Okay, that is needed to block this one. So attach that with the opening to the right. Now it cannot rotate. Now put this one on. Without this is loose. This portion is deeper, so that should go on to that one, like so. And rotate this the other direction, that is to the left. Okay, you don't need to tighten it because as the machine rotates, that will tighten it for you. But tighten it a little bit manually. Now remove the key. Now you can rotate everything. So to remove this one and to stop it from rotating, both the plastic and the metal are rotating. As you can see, I cannot remove it until I block that metal by inserting it there and to the other direction, that is to the right. To the opposite to the normal, and like so you can remove it. Okay, now let's put it back. Now you don't need this one. That is needed when you use the disc itself. Now when this is spinning, this will reach here to that blade and it will cut it. Currently it does not reach even there. This is even further, so it will not reach, but to make the wire come out a little bit, push in this one and then automatically it should come out when it's spinning, and then it's coming out a little bit more. And now it will be cut by that blade. When it's rotating, that blade will cut this blue nylon. So the length of these two wires will be identical. You can hit this head to the ground, that pushes it a little bit in, and the centrifugal force will send this wire out a little bit, and it will be also cut here. Now let's take a look at what's inside this one. You can rotate it from that small portion. It has a nut here, a long one. It's plastic. The nylon is coming out on this and that side. There is metal. The sides are rounded, so it will not cut this plastic string. So this should not have any metal in it, as the instructions mentioned. So this is only plastic. The sides are cutting a little bit, so it is rounded. It's like a spiral. The section, I think, is square, and the square's sides are doing the cutting. You can push down this in two stages, as I see. Now it entered deeper. If it's rotated, it will not enter too deeply. Now it stayed down. Now it came out. Now it's longer. I cannot rotate it to the left to make it go back, but I can rotate it to the right to make it come out. So I have to rotate it, push it in, and then rotate it. Rotate. It's not going anywhere. Push it in, rotate even more, and now it's not going anywhere. So in that way you can pull it back. Now this portion, the small one, can be rotated to the right. A spring is pushing everything out. You can see the blue wire, and that's inside. That metal cap is not coming out, but this is entering and exiting, that much. It has a square head, so it cannot rotate, but it can enter in and out. Okay, the next one. It has a shaft, so the shaft came out from there. That cannot rotate either because it's hexagonal. This entered there in the other direction. So to the left is tightening, to the right is loosening. This one goes to the left, the other one goes to the right side. It's rotating to the left, and that one is rotating to the left. So both of them are rotating to the left. Can I remove it? It has a spring inside. There are two sections, two halves, right side and left side. On those metal portions it will exit. These are parallel. Now it's more equal. Here's the spring. There's an arrow, wind cord that way to the left, wind cord that way, and it's there. From this side you have to rotate it to the right, and from this side to the left. Notice one is on the top side and one is on the lower side. This has quite a few meters, and it stops here, and that's it. So it was introduced there. Let's see, is it equal? It's not equal, so let's make it equal. Put the two ends there, pull out. So it was here, now it will be there. It has one cut, another cut. Let's put it here, rotate it. So the first half is going to the lower one and the second half is going to the top one. Spring goes inside and the two sides are not equal. So let's introduce one to this side and the other one to this side. Introduce this there. Now make sure these sides are under the wire, otherwise it will block them. Let's put this on. Reverse direction. This has a lot of play. Now it does not have play. This is blocked, kind of equal also. Finally put it there and remove that one. And notice it's not on horizontal. This is a flat line. It stays on that, but the top is slightly to the right. And here's the strap in my hand. Pull this thing up or down. Now it's shorter when this is up. Push it down and now it's longer. I don't like the center of gravity either. As you can see, the left side is heavier. So I will loosen this and push it a little bit. Will this scratch the metal? Yes, it will. Let's remove this for a moment. Now this is not moving. Great. So the center of gravity is somewhere there. Yet this one is here. Now here we have an extension cord. It's long, it's 50 meters. But the problem is it has a reel. This reel, this blue thing which holds the wire, that's the problem. Why is that the problem? Not the length is the problem, but this length is the problem. This is around 30 centimeters. If you plug this one there, can you use it? Well, you can use it if you hold this one in your hand. So an extension cord with a reel is not the entire story. You need another extension cord which is much lighter. Now this has 3 ends, not just one, but at least it's much lighter compared to this one, because you need to walk with this. So I introduce that one there. I have to also secure it to that hook inside there. Okay, and I will walk with this in my hand, but I cannot walk with that in my hand. So if you have an extension cord with a reel, then consider buying another one also which does not have a reel. Just one connector at the end, it's enough. You have to walk with this one, but not with that one. Now let's see, should I introduce my extension cord into this opening? And now it should not come out easily. The extension cord enters into the device, it makes a loop, it exits and it's connected to the device. So basically there is no stress upon this connection, but upon this one. This one is going to the reel. Now let's see what will happen. First usage. And it cut something. Hopefully it cut this also. The other one is shorter. Let's see what will happen. hole in the ground. This tiny string made a hole in the ground in 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, so don't move backward because that black plastic is blocking the movement. So always cut in front of you. And the length of the short wire stopped me, so I have to move my reel to a different location. Yes, but if this is inside, then this will rotate also. So unplug it first, then move it, and then plug it in again. It's full of grass. The end is a little bit broken. That also. We have a cream. On which side is that cutting element? It's full of grass. Grass cream. Remove this because it has weight and you are carrying that weight. Where is that cutting? This one, so it's on the left side. So the cutting element is here where the yellow marker is, on that side. And I cut a few meters here, but I don't feel any heat, so it's not overheating anywhere. It's almost cold, 90% cold, so heat-wise appears to be good. This white cable is blocking me. That's the length, the circle, the radius where I can cut the grass. Then I have to move that reel. And after a while, not much of grass, it's not cutting well enough, and that's because, notice, there is 2 or 3 fingers length missing from that string. So let's try to advance the string by hitting this head to the ground, and then the string should come out a little bit. Once again, camera in the hand, let's see if it will work. So start the motor. Let's see what happened. Yes, it's longer. So the cord was extended. This is not too long. Okay, so 1 or 2 bumps and it should work. The cord should get longer. Now let's do a power consumption test also. Grass is all over. So the device is rated for 1000 watts, so it should consume around 1000 watts. $970, so it's very close to 1000 watts power consumption. So the motor is not getting too hot, not at all, but this portion is getting warm. This transfer 90 plus 45, something like that. Now here's an interesting thing. Here is a cord and it's short. Okay, but here, where is the cord? So we have one, but the other one was cut off totally. So remove somehow and pull the other end through this one. Now, can I open this with my hand? Yes, I can. We have a little bit of grass there also. Here is one end and the other end is here. It could not get out from there. It's below. So if you wind it manually, make sure you lay down a row and then another row, because otherwise it can twist itself somehow. Now I have to remove all of this. Yes, one came off, the spring got out. Now remove everything. Okay, now one end again is longer for some reason. Get the grass out. I have to clean it and I have to hold it. So grass can enter into this one. Let's see. One end here, another end there, and it's holding it. Great. So there were totally 6 meters on this one. So 3 meters for the lower one, 3 meters for the top one. And by inserting the ends there, you can hold it. Okay, now I can clean it. Now, how was it? Where was the spring? I guess this one, because these were inside and this portion was clean. This is dirty, so that's on the outside. The spring has to go there. Put this one here and that one there. It's holding it. This portion is also dirty, by the way. Okay, so I inserted it there. Now insert one end to one side, the other end to the other opening. Pull it out somehow. Now it came out from those sides. Now it's locked. So on the left side it comes out, on the right side it comes out, and somewhere in the center it stays. Great. Where's that screw? Oops, the screw is here. It should enter here into this hexagonal. And now upside down and to the left. And that's it. The length is good enough. Now let's see if it's working or not. It is working.